Welcome back to Reserved Investments. Thank you for joining me. Today, your least favorite YouTuber in the collectibles space, is going to be doing a video all about your least favorite video game retailer. Spoiler alert, we're talking about GameStop. And the reason why we're doing this video is because it is obvious that the management team currently in charge of GameStop has no damn clue what business they are in. So I am doing this video because I have an 8-point plan of action that GameStop could take if they so desire to pull their proverbial heads out of their proverbial asses for a minute, and they actually want to turn their struggling retailer around. Because in all seriousness, I honestly think the retail space, especially the video game retail space, will be worse off going forward if GameStop is allowed to go under. Now, that doesn't mean that I think that the government should bail them out. I want to be very clear here. It doesn't mean that I think an angel investor should come along and save this struggling retailer. This is all up to GameStop to implement and put forth a strategy that actually attracts investors. And for the record, right now in March 2024, the current stock price of GameStop is roughly right around $13 a share. And if you're going to honestly ask me, do I think that you should invest in this company at present time? The answer is no. I do know what happened back in January of 2021, where GameStop stock was caught in a short squeeze, where a hedge fund was shorting the shares of the particular company in question here. Because let's be honest, this company does deserve to go bankrupt, and retail investors came in, realized what was happening, knew that they could make a tremendous amount of money. I was one of those individuals. And the share price of GameStop at that particular point in time shot up close to $500 a share. To be honest with you guys and fully transparent, I sold my position right around $340 a share. I made a shit ton of money in the process, and I never looked back. So I did make money when that was going on. I want to be 100% transparent here. If somebody from GameStop is watching this, heaven forbid, if somebody from the failed hedge fund that got screwed is watching this video, I'm sorry, welcome to capitalism. Pull yourself up by your damn bootstraps. Isn't that what you tell us? If we're sitting at home, we can't afford to eat, we're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, we're supposed to pull ourselves up by our bootstrap? Well, guess what? Fuck you, pal. You're in capitalism. Your company's in shambles. You fucked up a hedge fund. Pull yourself up by your damn bootstraps. Now that I got that out of my system, because I'm a left-leaning motherfucker who's pretty much one step away from being a full-blown socialist, we're going to talk over how wonderful GameStop can fix themselves, can win back the respect of the video game collecting community, can win back respect of people who really want to shop there but can't stand the current executive management team because you don't even know what damn business you are in. So without further ado, before I get too upset, before my ranting gets to a new height here, we're going to go in on my 8-point plan to save GameStop that the wonderful executives sitting up in the ivory tower will ignore. First and foremost, some of this is going to affect some of you guys, especially if you work for GameStop or if you live in a really rural area. So I want to apologize going into this. There is going to be some pain that I'm going to put out in front of you guys so that you can see how bad this situation is. The first thing that GameStop needs to do, they need to close all underperforming stores. We need to stop being the Blockbuster of the modern era. We don't need a GameStop store, a physical location on every damn street corner. I don't need to be driving through some crazy town that has a population of 1,212 people, and lo and behold, there's a GameStop in that town where if I walk in and I throw a hand grenade in that store, I'm not going to even hit anybody because nobody's even shopping there. We need to close down the underperforming stores. They are not serving any purpose. Shut them down. Save the money. save the revenue, and I apologize if you happen to live in one of those rural areas where maybe you only have one GameStop in a 50-mile radius. If that's you, I'm sincerely sorry. I also want to apologize up front to the employees that work there because I know that's going to affect you. I know that's not your fault. Please understand, it is not my intent to do you just harm. I just want to make sure that we can get on the same page because now everything else on this list is all positive. That's where we have to start with the pain. So we got to close down all those underperforming stores. We do have to, unfortunately, let some people go due to no fault of their own. And the next thing that we have to do is after we close down the underperforming stores, we have to actually start paying the employees that are left at the actual financially performing stores a true livable wage, and we need to hire people that actually care about video gaming, video game collecting, vintage and or otherwise. We have to be willing to pay for knowledgeable people that understand the video game marketplace, whether it's somebody who loves modern era games, whether it's somebody like me that just loves the vintage retro stuff, or somebody in the middle. Those are the people that we need to now go after and employ at our stores. The third thing that we need to do, we need to start opening flagship stores. Now, obviously, when I say flagship stores, these are stores that are going to pretty much lead our new brand initiative to rebrand this company, take it into the future, and we're going to position these stores in major metropolitan areas. So looking at the United States, we're talking New York, Philadelphia, Miami, Los Angeles, maybe even Boston, Massachusetts. Places that have a lot of people that have excellent demographics for the markets they serve. Now, recently I was just reading Nike is going to be opening up a flagship store in Philadelphia. I am hyped. They're only in the planning stages right now. I hope it goes through because that's what a lot of these companies need. We need to bring back retail. We need to fight back against online retailers. We need to bring back good customer service where you go to the store as a customer ready to spend your money and you're not just a revenue data point in some spreadsheet. You're actually treated like a true human being that matters. We got away from that during the pandemic. Even luxury retailers like Hermes, Rolex, even the Apple Store, they came under heavy fire for the way that they were treating not only their employees, but their customers. Your customers in any business are your lifeblood. You need to take care of them. They equate to how your brand is recognized to other future consumers. If you do not have a good relationship with both your customers and your employees, I assure you, your business will fail. That is my number one complaint working in corporate America. Corporate America forgot how to take care of their employees. And number two, they forgot how to take care of their customers. We need to get back to basics so that we can fight against the ravages of Amazon, against all of these online companies that are pulling the market in a different direction, that are pushing for an all-digital future, because this is very important when we talk about physical video game retailing. Step 4, we need to get back to where we respect the video game collector market. We need to ensure that all new items being sold in our stores are actually in new mint condition. None of this shit where we open up a copy, we got it, and we put the case on the shelf. Little Timmy comes along, pulls the case from the shelf and says, I'd like to buy this game. And he goes to the counter and they go, oh, that's the last copy. You're not gonna sell them an open game anymore. That shit's done. No, you're gonna sell Little Timmy, Kimmy, and Poindexter Jr. a factory sealed game if you are charging them the full price for that particular item. And that particular item that you are selling them is going to be in near mint factory sealed condition because that's what they're paying for. You have to bring that experience back. Just like when I was a young Timmy, I remember when Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out, I went to the electronics boutique store when I pre-ordered that game and they put a mint factory sealed game in that electronics boutique bag. I still remember that in my mind. It had an experience on me. And this was back when I was what? 13, 14, 15 years old. I don't even remember. Now I'm 47 years old. And that experience still stayed with me throughout all of these years, guys. Another thing that we are going to do. Step 5. We are going to cater to the retro video game market. And we're going to do it right. We're going to actually hire people who can determine a fake game from an actual original official copy. So we're going to hire knowledgeable people that are going to be able to take trade-ins, that are going to be able to understand what they are spending the company's money on. Are they buying fakes? Are they buying reproductions? We know how this played out before when GameStop tried to enter this market. It did not work that well. Guess what? We're going to change all that. We're going to win back the respect of the video game buying public. We're going to price our items at a fair market value where we can compete with eBay, where we can compete with other online market sellers. And our stick is going to be, hey, you can come to our store. If we have the item in stock, you can see it before you buy it. None of this, well, I ordered this game off of eBay that was advertised as near mint condition. I got it. The thing's in very good condition at best. It's scratched up. The manual's ripped. What did I buy? If you come to GameStop and we're selling you this particular item as described, we're going to make sure it is in the described condition. You're going to be able to interact with it. You're going to be able to see it. And we're not going to just slap a price sticker right on that thing. We're going to make sure that we respect the condition of that item being sold as a collectible. We're also going to sell, and I know that some of you are going to get rubbed the wrong way with this. Let me tell you, we are going to also start selling graded video games. Now, I know that some of you hate that idea, but I hate to say this. As somebody who has been a major critic of Wata Games and what happened with the graded video game bubble, I still will state this. Graded video games are here to stay. So we are going to have to accept them into this market. So going forward, guess what? If you have graded games, they're already graded. We know the condition. We know the fact that they're legit. We're going to buy and sell graded games as well going forward for all the major vintage video game systems. Now, this is where the water gets a little bit murky. You got to understand, guys, that most retailers, GameStop included, we have limited shelf space, right? We're trying to cater to all these different markets, whether it's Nintendo Switch, whether it's PlayStation 5, whether it's the new Microsoft Xbox console. So if we're going to cater to vintage, we're going to cater to the most popular vintage games and systems, meaning your vintage Nintendo systems and games, your vintage PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, your Microsoft Xbox, original Microsoft Xbox 360, those particular games and systems. I am not advocating that GameStop go head first and start selling Sega Dreamcast, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx 16. We can cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, I just want to make sure that we focus on the big three, and that being Nintendo, modern era, vintage, Sony PlayStation, modern era, vintage, and Microsoft Xbox, Xbox 360, and Xbox One, Xbox One X. Those are the main systems I think that we should focus on in this particular capacity. The sixth thing we need to do is we need to start forming exclusive partnerships with small physical game publishers like limited run games, even strictly limited games, even super rare games. And we need to come to them and we got to get ready to write a big check and we got to say to them, hey, you know what? We want you to release some of your games, not on your website, but for sale only in our retail stores. Meaning GameStop is going to be the exclusive reseller of whatever the latest limited run release is. And you can only get it at GameStop. Do you have any idea what that would do for collector confidence? Do you have any idea how many people that would bring into our retail locations? This is a massive business opportunity for the company by and large if we can sell exclusive games in our stores. Imagine if we could go to Nintendo and we could say, you know what? Back in the day, if you guys were around during the great Nintendo Amiibo speculative phrase, if you remember, GameStop did sell some store exclusive Nintendo Amiibos. They also still sell and have sold exclusive Nintendo consoles, collector edition items, and the like. We need to increase the amount of exclusives we carry in our stores. This is action plan number 7. We need to reach out to Sony. We need to reach out to Microsoft. We need to reach out to Nintendo. We need to tell them, hey, we want physical products, physical games, collector edition games and consoles being sold in our stores. Finally, the 8th thing that GameStop needs to do, they need to pull their proverbial heads out of their asses, and they need to help promote the hobby of physical game collecting across the board. And I want to make this very clear. This is something that we really need somebody to come into this space, and GameStop already has a presence in this space, and say to a lot of these companies, wait a minute, we have X number of stores, nationwide, worldwide, whatever it is. We're still buying physical media in its direct current form. You guys, if you want to go all digital, that's fine. You go all digital. We're not going to carry your products anymore. I'm so tired of walking into a GameStop and seeing them cater to video game systems that don't even have a media drive. Why are we carrying an Xbox console or a Sony PlayStation 5 console when it doesn't even have a media drive if we're in the business of pushing physical media? We need to cut those products off because we're not going to focus on an all-digital future. We are a retail company in the physical realm of carrying physical products. As a result, that's what we want to promote. And I think if GameStop does this, if they can carry out this plan perfectly, where they cater to both vintage and retro video game collectors, along with the modern era gamers and collectors like around my age that aren't too involved in this push for an all-digital future, I think that GameStop can become a leaner, meaner, and more dominant company in this space over the coming years. Instead of being this company that lacks any vision and purpose that should have gone bankrupt many, many, many years ago. And this is why this is really my passion. You guys got to understand, I am very big on physical media. I have been in the antiques and collectibles trade since the age of 12. I am educated in business, economics, and finance. This is something I truly believe, that if GameStop would just take this vision and run with it, they can turn the company around. And I think that's what we need. They need to reach out to their consumers. They need to reach out to their employees. And they need to apologize for the shit show that they have now become. Because whenever I walk into a GameStop store in the year 2024, it is nothing like shopping in an electronics boutique back in the 1990s, or a Babbage's, or a Software Etc., or heaven forbid, a Funkoland store. It is a shit show. And the executive team at GameStop, they need to be held accountable for this. This is why back in January of 2021, myself included, when we were all bidding up the price of GameStop stock, the one hesitation I had during that time is all of these executives got rich as that stock price rose because all they had to do is cash out their holdings, their options that they had in GameStop stock, and they were making a ton of money while simultaneously running this damn company into the ground. And every night, I used to go to bed questioning you know, I'm making all this money on this stock, but I'm also enriching these other assholes over here that don't deserve it simply because I found a way to make money and also take out a hedge fund. I still ask myself to this day, was it worth it? Because at the end of the day, the executive board of GameStop needs to be held accountable for the fact that a little YouTuber like me with 16,700 subscribers who's educated in business, economics, finance, the antiques and collectibles trade can come down here at 2 o'clock in the morning, put together an action plan and go, okay, if we really want to implement this, we can turn GameStop around when their fucking own management team can't even come up with a plan to save the company from next week. I don't even know how this company makes payroll. That's how inept they are at present time. Before I get too upset, please let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feedback in the comment section below. Do you think this strategy that I came up with will work if GameStop would undertake these core action plans, put them together, and turn the company around? Can they do it? Should they do it? Do they even deserve to survive in the year 2024 and beyond? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. I do apologize. I know that this video got a little bit heated. I do apologize to my core audience who probably isn't used to seeing me get that emotional. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.